People of the sun and lovers of knowledge and truth, I present to you the man who slaughtered over 100 million Native Americans in the year 1492 just because he wanted to steal their land and hand it over to the white Europeans. Even Donald Trump, planning to kick out foreigners from America, is not even an American. All the presidents of America, from George Washington to Joe Biden, are not natives to America. They are invaders. Now, let's look at how whites came to America. You see, the Europeans were in desperate need of new lands to occupy and settle. Spain was the leading European power at then. The Europeans needed new land where they can exploit. Their aim was to go to Asia, precisely India, where they were told that there are vast lands and enough gold. There were European voyagers ready to embark on this voyage. It was at this moment Columbus appeared, an Italian who is very cunning and mischievous. He was having an affair with the Queen of Spain, that is Queen Isabella, the wife of King Ferdinand. She was the one who persuaded her husband to sponsor Columbus for the voyage. Now, in 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed with the enthusiasm of reaching Asia and amassed gold and lands. Columbus and his men were frustrated on the journey. They could not get to India. It was so annoying that Columbus shouted at his men with bitterness and told them to turn back. On their way back, they landed on an island, believing they have reached India. The people Columbus saw were called the Native Americans, but Columbus mistook them to be Indians, and he described them as the Red Indians due to their reddish skin. These were the Native Americans, the indigenous owners of America. Columbus was informed that black-skinned people from Egypt in 800 BCE and Mali in 1311 have already come in contact with the native indigenous Americans. From 800 to 600 BCE, Africans from Egypt, Nubia, and Ethiopia landed in America and lived among the natives. Around 1311, Mansa Abubakari II of Mali landed in America also, and this was 181 years before Columbus even sailed. Now, when Columbus met with the natives, he saw steel metals and spears that are only identical to the spears and metals made in Africa. This was after he was told of African presence in America. Columbus went back to Spain to report his findings and came back to exterminate the natives. The Native Americans were slaughtered, some poisoned, and the rest were enslaved. In fact, it was Columbus who initiated modern-day slavery. After drastically reducing the population of the natives, the Europeans flooded the land and became the new owners of America. There was the need for more active and healthy slaves after the extermination of the Native Americans. The fact is that the Native Americans were weak and were dying due to hard labor, coupled with European diseases that was used to shrink their population. It was at this moment in 1517, Bartholomew de las Casas, a Catholic priest and the brother of Christopher Columbus, advised the Spanish monarchy to work with the Portuguese in order to bring Africans as slaves to America. In fact, the first Africans to be used as slaves in America did not come from Africa, but were the Moors, who were conquered by the Europeans. The Moors were black Africans who ruled Europe for over 700 years, since 711 AD. In fact, it was the Moors who gave civilization to the Europeans and established the first European university, named the University of Salamanca. America today is not controlled by the indigenous natives, but by Europeans who invaded the land since 1492 under the leadership of Christopher Columbus.